We're here today to bring attention to the fact that our state maintains a waiting list of over 10,000 people that have very significant disabilities, and they're waiting for services to help them stay in their home. Services like modifying their home so they can get in and out easily with their wheelchairs, services that help people to work in the community, services that help people have access to good health care because they get Medicaid. So we're here today to bring attention to that, and that people should not have to wait for those services.
It's important to know that people with developmental disabilities want to live in their own homes and be included in their communities and not to have to go to an institution to receive services. People living in their own homes have a much better quality of life. They don't want to move into an institution in order to receive services, but there's a waiting list of over 10,000 people in order to receive appropriate supports to help them maintain life in their own home and in their community. And it's more cost effective to support somebody in their own home. Institutions are really expensive, but when you have to wait almost 9 years to receive the services you need, some families get to the end of their rope, either financially, emotionally, physically, trying to take care of their family member. Sometimes they have no choice but to seek out-of-home placement in a residential facility or an institution. And we shouldn't have to get to that point for people. If we give people the services that they need when they need them, then people would stay at home and be productive members of their communities, which people with developmental disabilities can be and want to be.
Today we're looking at rallying to end the waiting list. The average wait to get services in Louisiana is 9 years now, 8 to 9 years, and you know, it's a pitiful situation in waiting that long. Shouldn't have to be that way. There's you know, a person should be able to choose where they want to live in the community, their own apartment, you know, where they want to work, where they want to play, and there just shouldn't be a wait like this.
It costs more to actually serve people in institutions than on these waiver programs that Medicaid provides. But when people are waiting and they can't get those services, some of them end up in institutions, and so the taxpayers end up paying more for that care, and the person's quality of life is much, you know, less desirable than if they're in the community where they can be close to family, to friends, and people can have the peace of mind that, you know, their son or daughter can live a life that we all want in the community.
Representatives on the Appropriations Committee just this past Monday, they've included funds in House Bill 1 for 75 brand new now slots. So at least 75 people will come off that waiting list this year. But we're not done. We are not done. We need more. Several members of the committee said that they would continue to work during this legislative session to identify additional funds for more now slots, and we're going to help them. There's plenty of opportunities that remain for additional slots to be added, as well as funding for individual and family support, families helping families, and children's special health services. Today is one of those opportunities to talk to your legislators, but it's not the only opportunity. When you go back home, you need to email, you need to call, you need to write. When they come home, you need to see if you can visit with them to keep giving that message. But you came here today to help demonstrate our strength by rallying together on these steps. But you're also here today to visit with your representative and senator. They're going to all be on there in the chambers at 2 o'clock. And you can send a note to them and ask them to come talk to you and say what you need to say. Like the John Mayer song that you heard earlier say. It says, take out every past frustration. Take all your problems. Say what you need to say. Walking like a one-man army. Say what you need to say. Even if your hands are shaking, say what you need to say to the legislators today and in the coming days. So let's think about what you need to say today. You can look at the information in the folders that your LACAN leaders will have for you to give out, and you relate those things to your personal situation. What has been your experience waiting? What has been your experience if you receive the waiver services? Say what you need to say. Now, we're probably you're not gonna have a lot of time if you get to talk to a legislator, maybe 30 seconds. We call it our elevator speech. What's the most important thing, or a few things, that you want to say to legislators today? I need to say that I really appreciate the funds that the members of the Appropriations Committee included in House Bill 1 to add 75 new slots. But I also need to say, a waiting list is not a service. We need to fund more now slots in the budget. I also need to say that my son's waiver services enable him to work, volunteer, be a valued member in our community, and to be independent. I need to say that his waiver supports provide my husband and me with peace of mind that is priceless, regardless of what it costs to help keep someone in the community. It is priceless to live in your own home, to be with your friends and family. I need to say individuals should not have to wait 10 years for needed services. They shouldn't have to wait for 8. They shouldn't have to wait for 3. They shouldn't have to wait. I need to say restore the funds and protect the funds to individual and family support program in the districts and authorities. Those services are the most important to people while they wait. They're waiting for the waiver, but they could get these services now, at least something, if those funds can get restored.
I was introduced into the legislature 5 years ago, and I served on Senate Finance Committee, and I was awed by the yellow shirts when we went in the committee one day. And I found out who you all are and what you do, and I've kind of been connected with LACAN since then. It's such an important movement, does such great things. Some of the group that I generally work with, they all standing over there, and they're wonderful people. Good to see y'all. Thank you. Listen, you know, there's a lot of people in the legislature, and there's several other legislators here that were standing on the steps listening to what's going on, because there's a lot of people who care about you all and what you do, and they understand how important it is. I'm thrilled about the funding that was put back in the House side. When it comes to the Senate side, we're going to try to make sure that it stays in the bill, because it's so important, and we understand 75 is not a great number, but you know, it's better than what we got last year. So we're going to continue to try to help those people. Family helping families are great in my area. I go to board meetings occasionally and find out just what's going on with you guys. It's something that's near and dear to the hearts of many legislators here. Please go talk to them. They want to hear from you. They don't have 30 seconds. They have a lot more than 30 seconds. They want to hear what you have to say, and you make sure you tell them exactly what you want to say and tell them exactly what you mean. I tell you what, they respond. We respond to that kind of thing. So please, please take your time to go talk to your legislator. And if you see them in a hallway, wave to them, talk to them, and go to their office. But see them and tell them what's important. Thank you all for being here today. A lot of people know you here, and a lot of people know just how important the things that you do are. So thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. You bet.
There are some families, those that have been on the waiting list the longest, some of them will not be able to wait any longer. And again, their son or daughter could end up in an institution, and it would cost the state more. So it just, you know, we need people to communicate to their legislators that they want their tax dollars spent on home and community-based services.
It's important for the community to know that that there are some good people that want to live in the community, that want to participate in the community, that want to go to festivals, that want to go to the parks, that want to meet new people. And it's important for them to know that.
even in these tough budget times, we want legislators to make services for people with developmental disabilities in their homes a priority. And so that's the message. We have people from all over the state that came here today to speak individually with their legislators, asking them to make funding for these services a priority in the budget process. Our t-shirts today say on the front, it's time, because it's time to end the wait. We've actually had an End the Wait campaign for many, many years, but the wait continues. And the back of the shirt says a waiting list is not a service, because again, we've had a waiting list for probably 20 years. And people are tired of waiting, and I think that has been our rallying cry, is that a waiting list is not a service. So they just want people to know that they are tired of waiting.